Hey, what's going on, you loser? I'm just kidding. I'm just bullying you a little. Trying to keep bullying alive before all the anti-bullying puts an end to it. But anyways, all right. So got another encouragement for you. You ready for this? Here it is. When it comes to the mission and the goal and the purpose of your life, there's a benefit to being outnumbered or the underdog or whatever. We see time and time again in Scripture where the size of our human army, it doesn't matter, because you see God's people go to war after war after war being heavily outnumbered, and it doesn't make a difference because God gives them victory. God gives us our victory. So just here's a big encouragement. I think in the last video I talked about Gideon and just the potential within him, but now I want to talk about the actual war that ensues. So they're about to go to war against this group of people that just outnumber them thousands and thousands to one. It's hundreds of thousands of soldiers, and you got God's army. And what God says, before they even begin, He says, your army is too big, and I want you to shrink it down, lest all of you sit there and take credit for my glory. So He ends up, through a couple filtering processes, gets rid of almost all of the army. And they're down to 300 people versus, I think it's like over 100-some thousand. I don't even know how many, what the number is. It says, it's like they were like the sands of the sea, basically. Or the sand at the beach, whatever. And so, that being said, that's how God operates. God likes when we're underdogs, and that's why you see time and time again, it's the least of people who's brought up, because we want to think into everything. Our human thinking is so limited. Scripture even talks about that. God's like, as high as the heavens are, so are like my thoughts compared to yours. He's like, you can't comprehend things. Your brains don't have the ability, and we're limited, but we try anyway. And that's what really where we shoot ourselves in the foot, because we try to pick missions and goals in our life that are attainable. And that's the problem. That's the very problem in itself. That's it right there. It's like we want to go to war against an army that we think we can beat, that we think we're capable of victory. And according to Scripture, that's not the best way to go about it. The best way to go about it is to let God provide the victory. And that happens when we set goals that are unattainable. So if there's just one big encouragement, is stop thinking in human terms. Stop thinking in measurable terms. Like, if your goal, step by step by step by step, you know how you can achieve it, it's too small. If there's not, because here's the thing, I call this the miracle equation. Old me, before I went on the whole mission trip, everything I did in life had to make sense, because I would set out plans, and I knew the power of hard work, planning, strategy, execution, and success, right? But the thing is, it's like when I started trying to figure out the mission trip, especially one of the big questions is how am I going to pay for it? What am I supposed to do? How am I going to do this, and this? And you start thinking in those terms, and what happens is you can't solve the equation suddenly. Like when you pick a really big mission or a really big task, it's not solvable anymore. So that's where this miracle equation comes in. Basically, that's where you begin to actually rely on faith. And the funny thing is after doing this mission trip for so long, I've begun to see so many miracles. Now I begin to actually, when sitting down logically trying to solve, all right, how am I going to solve this? I factor that in there. That's part of the equation. I'm like, okay, I'm going to use money for this. I'm going to use this strategy. Here's where I'm going to count on the miracle from God, and I'm going to go this way, and it should be achievable. Versus an old me would have been like, all right, here's the strategy, here's the money, here's the plan. Somehow I can't get that result. So if you're trying to figure out something in your life that just seems impossible, or it seems unachievable, that's where God comes in, and that's how we're supposed to do this. We're supposed to believe and have faith that the God, the maker of the universe, the heavens and the earth, is honest when He says He'll be with us. It says He is the God who will go before you, and He will go and He will fight for you. It's the Lord of heaven's armies who goes before you. So my big encouragement is, whatever your dream and your scheme is, there's just a great chance it's way too small. If it's not impossible, you're realistically doing it wrong. It's got to be a goal that includes God showing up in delivering a victory, and that's almost the only way to plan life. And it's scary, but the more you do it and the more you see it succeed, almost the more you will come to rely on the Lord. So that's my encouragement, and I will talk to you all soon.